Okay, so here we go. Meet the penis in the land down under. So, here we've got an illustration of this woman who's saying, hey, welcome the penis. Love it. Treat it as your God, your number one priority. This is what's going to get you ahead in life. You need to focus on the penis and pleasuring it. And hopefully, if you suck it, lick it, trick it, flip it enough, dip it, that maybe the man will marry you and honor you, maybe provide you a good living, maybe you'll have some lavish gifts, maybe you'll get to have housing, food, and so we're basically raising people, these type of books, magazines, shows, just like the new show, there's Scandalous Maids, and then there's mistress shows, and they're all coming out. And the Housewives was, popular. Now they've got a couple more, and it's just all focused penis, 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 and it's not even about God. It's not about Jesus. It's not about leading people to the gospel. No, the new, agenda, the new mission, and this is just as well as for gay men too. I mean, penis, 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 all day long. And you're seeing that in society where it's the main focus of a lot of products, a lot of it's sex everywhere you turn, and it's really getting to the point where they're just shoving it down our throats. The people who are supposed to regulate things aren't doing it. They're just allowing it, and we're getting tired of it here. But there's a lot of people that think, their troubles are going to be over when they, get these kind of books. And I have to admit, I did try some of it, and I hadn't really did the swallowing technique, and I did try that, which, was different, and, I wanted to taste, the sperm, and just to kind of get an idea of it, and I kind of used it as a manipulation technique, and it didn't really do much. It wasn't like it made him just go out and buy a ring or anything like that, and it didn't make him honor me anymore, and so it just made me want to gag pretty much at the end, and I felt like I was cheated because he wasn't my husband, and now I have this memory of him with his penis in my mouth, ejaculating, and it's something I'd rather forget about, and I want to just, pretend it never happened, because now looking back on it, it was a huge mistake, because there's a lot of diseases out there, and it's just not safe, and you got to really be careful. But here's this article. She's talking about riding his sexual response cycle. And, these women are just basically like barracudas, looking for sex, reading how to get this guy responding to sex, and getting him more, into it and everything. And, of course, most of them aren't even married. And they don't hesitate on basically teaching all of this. But, I'm surprised she didn't have, like, one of the ingredients in here, like sperm or something to drink. Because I've been hearing a lot of products that are going out that have sperm in them that people are selling online. I remember when I worked at the Department of Revenue, I think I remember reading or hearing about that. But, yeah, these books are really something else. But I just wanted to take time to just talk about that, and then I want to go into more. Do women want men who are rich, or do they want men who are poor and dating them, and just kind of a little bit of different experiences. Like, there's a particular guy that I dated, and he was not, he wasn't very wealthy. He was just, middle class or whatever, and he was a student, and we had met in college, and he was really generous then. He used to take me out to, like, Anthony's restaurant and nicer places, Sizzlers, and he would give me money, and he was really a little bit more giving. And then when he started to come up and do better, and he went and worked on his master's. I'm not sure if he actually got it or not, but he got his own business, and he got a job working for the government. And then before you know it, it was like I didn't get anything. I didn't get any meals. I didn't, basically he kind of cut back on doing the things he used to do. And I noticed that this happened a lot in a couple different men that I've dated, because I've dated from a spectrum where they're not so wealthy to middle income to wealthy celebrity, millionaires, and maybe in government officials who, do pretty well. And I've noticed just from all the way from that scale up and down, like the guys that are have less money have been more helpful, more easier to get along with, less power trips. Because when you have a man with money, they basically do a lot of traveling. They have a lot of access to different women, so they come about with a little bit more of an attitude, bigger ego. And they know that they can take the pick of the litter. There's always a bunch of women dropping to, date them. And they travel a lot, so it's really accessible for them to cheat. They're in hotels. There's always groupies. And so I've dated, Sonic, Seahawks, celebrities. And not so much celebrities, like, because it didn't go too far. I mean, I met him, and then I didn't want to date him, more like, but the government officials, they, had nice homes, they had boats, they had good money, making incomes, but a lot of them I could tell were pretty stingy, selfish. All they do is pretty center around themselves. You go out on a date with them, or you talk to them at work, and they're just focused on me, what I own, what I have, and they pretty much are narcissists a lot. And then we got the guys who are kind of in the middle, and sometimes they could be a little bit easier to work with because of the fact that they aren't as occupied with this money and this love of money that consumes some of these men. I mean, some of them just live their whole lives just hunting for money and trying to get as much tail and much sex or whatever it is, power, and and so you get caught up in that game, and then you're like a pawn to them when they're too wealthy. And they will use it, like, to get you. Like, if you don't listen to them, if you stop giving them sex and you decide you don't want to be with them because they're not marrying you, because they will keep you around for a long time, like 20 years or so, if you let them. And they will not marry you. They have no intentions. They'll have, like, harems of women. And if you try to escape the harem, and you want to try to find true love and hope that there's, something out there better for you, then they go into attack mode, basically, and they use their authority and their connections, and they block you, they blacklist you, and they're very ruthless. They'll cut you down to food stamps, poverty, and they'll make sure you can't go or do anything, go anywhere, meet anybody, and they have a tremendous amount of power. They can get you arrested. They can get you health problems if they want. They can, have you a targeted individual. They can basically torment you, domestic violence you. harass you, stalk you, and there's nothing really you can do about it. So when you get caught up with these elite guys, it's really dangerous because it's not so easy to walk away. It's like being in a gang. And once you're in, you can't get out, and you think, well, once they ask me to sell out, or once, that happens, I'll leave, or whatever, and I'll just get the money. No, you can't. It's not that simple. Because once they give you gifts and stuff, you're connected, you owe them. You owe them sex, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and not as in a wife, because half the time they don't even want you as a wife. You're just a mistress or a harem part of it. And the women are brutal, too. I mean, they have multiple sex partners. They get trains pulled on them. They're swingers, too. They have no loyalty to these men. They're passed around, back and forth like musical chairs. A lot of them carry just diseases, herpes, well known. They pass them back and forth amongst each other. There's even clubs where people, the celebrities, they have a disease as herpes, and then they just screw amongst each other. And they keep it in the family or whatever, and then a new one comes along, they give them the AIDS. It's like a initiation to get in. And some of them even want AIDS because there's so many people that are rich and in power with it that they're like, yeah, I'll keep it. I'll take AIDS just to get ahead, and whatever. They don't care. They have low morals, and they'll do whatever it takes. So when you date these men, you got to be careful. I mean, I've got a lot of stories I'll be telling you in this series, of personal experience of myself, of other women, interviews I've done for, the movie, for the books, and just to tell you, I mean, you would be surprised what these men are capable of. And how the authorities don't do anything. They never search their properties. They never look after them or investigate them because they have too much money, too much security, too much people covering them, and then they always blame it on someone else. So they never get traced, directly to what they've done. And they're very protected, believe me, because of the amounts of money that they make. And so you try to go against them. I mean, in a lawsuit, not a paternity test, but divorce or whatever. Let's say they do marry you, and you try to, you basically, it's like the poor going against a Goliath or something. And they will take your kids, like Wayne did from the Miami Heat. A lot of them do. They don't hesitate to ruin your life and leave you in poverty and burn you and then leave you to the side like roadkill just to let everyone know. Like I'm sure Gabrielle knows. She's going to be next if she don't watch it. So she's going to stay in check and do whatever she is. She's going to do her programs, her stereotypical programs of the bossy, shaking your head woman going off and, being the only money breadwinner attitude. I forgot the name of her new show, but that's just an illustration. I mean, she basically broke up their family and was dating him and cheating, and then she's the one coming up. See, that's how it goes. Whatever girl they're with, whatever one they favor or they like gets the benefits of it. And if you're the bad one, they treat you like little kids. It's like you're in the, go in the corner, you're bad girl, and you didn't open your legs and give it to me, you didn't sex me quick enough, you had an attitude, da-da-da. And so you suffer, and then they sit around in the meetings, in their little secret society meetings, and they laugh at you. And they all sit in rooms talking about how they, pretty much screwed someone over. And they're like, yeah, look at this, look at, she can't do this and that, and they're so proud of it. It's like a notch. Now that's a notch on the belt. That's a trophy. And then their handlers or their elite leaders or whatever gives double bonuses for that. They're like, oh yeah, you kept one down for not listening, man. That scared my girl. She's really listening and sucking this penis every day. And so they know, and then the women are like, I don't want to end up like her. oh no, and then people get in like the survival mode. That's what they put us in, because they know we can't just step out there and start our own businesses. We can't just go out there and get our own mortgages. We have to go to them to get everything. They're the ones who own all the corporations and all the jobs, and they're the ones in charge, mainly the CEOs, the presidents, in charge of the last person who says who gets the job. And a lot of times the women will sit there and hire, but they really have to go to the men and ask the last decision who gets to come in. So anyways, that was just a little brief note on just marrying different type of men or dating them in the higher, lower, poor versus elite. And I would definitely have to caution you to be careful when dating. It's like dealing with Pandora's box, and you don't want to open that unless you have an army to help you. So this is information you need, reporting all one word with a U.